Welcome to Optimal Timelines. My name is Sean, and this is going to be your January 2025 tarot reading for your North Node by sign and house for the second half of January. Now, if you're new to my channel, the reason I use the North Node in tarot readings as opposed to your Sun, Moon, or Ascendant sign is that it's recognized in astrology your North Node is your North Star. It's what you're here to learn, experience, and master in this lifetime. So it's much more relevant to your everyday life and much more accurate in tarot readings as opposed to your Sun, Moon, or Ascendant sign. Now remember, you're going to want to watch two videos, one for your North Node by sign and one for your North Node by house. With that, I'm going to connect to the energies and we can begin. I call upon my spirit guides, guardians, and the wisdom of my ancestors to bring forth the information that's true and correct for all who see and hear this reading, that it may bring them the most beautiful, happy life possible and set them on their most optimal future timeline. So may it be. Okay, North Node in Aries and or the first house. Okay, very interesting. The theme card that popped out for you is the Six of Pentacles. And you've got, I can see in the reading, you've got a few more pentacles here. So the theme for the second half of January for you is there are things that have to do with, tangible, things like, money, raises, investments, things of that sort, property, okay? But also other things that are of tangible value, like, self-esteem and good health and all of that. What this is talking about particularly, though, is when I saw this card, it hit me to where the phrase, and you might have heard this phrase before, most of us have, charity begins at home, meaning that it's great and all for us to be able to, give to the world, give of ourselves, give of our resources and all of that. But it starts at home. It should start at home, meaning those closest to us. However, there's one step further back than this. Where home truly is in ourselves. Like, we first have to be good to ourselves. That's where the charity starts. Then it kind of goes out to those who are closest to us and then to the outside world. The other thing about this card is, I think this is really referring to what's happening with you is learning to balance stepping into your power while keeping the good aspects of your South Node in Libra and or the seventh house. Because you can see what is the sigil that it symbolizes Libra. It's the scales, right? And you could see that this person here who's, giving out resources to these people here, he's holding scales in one hand as he's passing out coins, right? Now, as I said, this can mean, it doesn't literally mean, it could mean things of value. Could be our time, our emotions, our energy. All of those things are things of value. But the interesting thing is that what you're learning is you're learning to approach life by stepping into your power, but not losing the good aspects of that beautiful Libra seventh house energy, right? So it's like, like I always say, it's like with North Node and Aries, it's the spiritual warrior or the loving warrior or the benevolent king or queen type of a thing, where there's strength, but then there's also, heart energy. Now let's look at your timeline cards and we'll get some more information here. So you've got the Four of Wands reversed. You've got another four here. You've got the Four of Cups reversed, and you've got the Emperor card reversed. Now, what I think is going on here is I think that there is an opportunity here. What all these cards symbolize are ways for you to stand in your power. I think it's like different circumstances that are going to happen the second half of January. That's what I feel. Different ways where you can step into your power and stay in your power, but while using the gifts that you have from your Libra 7th house South Node. So we'll start with the Four of Wands reversed. I feel like there is an opportunity for you to help a situation in your life like be more joyous. You know, this card is normally a card of like celebration. It could be, you know, marriage, something to that effect. But I feel like there's going to be an opportunity the second half for you to bring in an element of like lifting up and celebration in a situation. And that could come through like friends, family, or even like in a work situation, okay, where you are being able to give. Now I feel like this is also talking about yourself, where you do have to take time to, you know, for yourself to enjoy life and celebrate the life that you've been given. But I feel like this is an opportunity for you to help a situation. And really that's what that like benevolent leader or spiritual benevolent warrior is. You know, it's like using your strength to not only benefit yourself and those closest to you, but also like kind of the general world. So I just think that there's this opportunity where you are helping a situation become more joyous. Okay, that's one of the things that's going to come up. The other thing that's going to happen is there's a person in your life the second half with this Four of Cups where they could be emotionally down or emotionally like distraught. There's going to be again an opportunity for you to come in with your strength, and what you're learning is you're learning to use this personal power in a way that is way different than how we normally think in the world of power. We always think of, you know, we think of like weakness and power as one, you know, they're like two different things. And if you show any sort of weakness or softness, that's not true power. But really in this lifetime, this is what you're learning. And I feel like one of the gifts that you have, if you wish to step into it, is to be strong for other people. And I feel like there's going to be a person the second half of January where you can help them, you can lift them up, like, you know, just like a soldier carrying a wounded comrade, you know, out of the battle, out, you know, into safety. And the same thing, I think this is going to happen emotionally, where you are going to be able to help somebody. And again, using those gifts of strength, but then that beauty of that like Libra 7th house energy at the same time. And then again here, you've got the Emperor card reversed. Now, what this is what's telling me this whole reading, where this is your ultimate goal. This is the benevolent leader. Yes, it's an emperor, but it could be an empress. It could be, you know, a king or a queen. It is that benevolent leader that I'm talking about. And if, you know, hopefully everyone watching this video has at least met a person like that, that was like, it could have been like a boss or an owner of a company or someone like very wealthy and powerful, but yet they were this like really like benevolent leader. Like they were strong, but they didn't need to like dominate people. Okay. And so what this whole reading is about is this is simply you are going to be given opportunities this second half of January to continue this evolution. And, you know, what your evolution is as you go down this path is standing in your power and in your strength. But as I said, keeping that beautiful energy that you already have as gifts from your past. Now, your two advice cards are, you've got the Five of Pentacles upright, and you've got the Seven of Pentacles. Now, what this is saying with the Five of Pentacles is that there sometimes people in this situation that we're looking at, they might not readily like ask for your help, or they might not readily recognize the help that can be offered to them. And just realize that if you are trying to be this kind of a person, out in the world, and if someone doesn't respond to it, part of that, setting boundaries and stepping into your power is saying, you don't force it on anybody. And so if they're not recognizing, help that's there for them and the things you offer, you don't want to force it. You're saying, okay, like, you have free will. You don't want to accept this. That's okay. Because what can happen is, one of the things that with your South Node is, when you do try to step into your power, when it's not accepted, it can kind of throw a wrench into things. And I've seen this with different clients where they're just like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know what to do, and I'm trying to help them. And so then it's like almost like the switch flips, and you could kind of go back into that needy, like, well, why aren't they responding to the help? So if someone isn't responding to you standing in your strength and your benevolence in trying to help, that's fine. Like, let them, maybe at some point they'll, be more receptive to it. But like, as I said, don't force the situation. And then with the Seven of Pentacles, what this is saying is, throughout this whole process, remember, it's really important for you to, one of the gifts that you have is patience, right? One of the things we see with the negative side of Aries, which most of you don't display because it's your North Node, but we see like an impatience, right? But one of the things that you have that's a huge gift is, and this is one of the things that's helping you to step into this power of that benevolent leader, is you have the gift of patience. Now, some of you have too much patience where, you've put up with so much with situations and people in your life, and you're like, you should have like set boundaries a long time ago. That's like having too much patience. But you always have that gift. And that's one of the things that is going to come into play here. That's one of the characteristics, if you really look at someone who is that kind of benevolent leader, they have a lot of patience, and that's part of the thing that like gives them their whole strength. So that's what's helping you in this whole situation. So yeah, as these situations come up, look for ways where you can stand in your strength and be strong for others, and be strong for others in different situations. And you're going to see this is just part of your development, right? And the more you do this, it's like this recirculating energy going to come back to you, and you're going to feel more empowered. Okay, so this is part of this growth period, and don't be afraid of stepping into your power. Okay, because sometimes when people hit a big growth spurt in their personal path, it can be really scary, like, whoa, and just don't let it scare you. Just step into it, and realize what's going to help you step into it is use that power to be strong for others, and it's going to feel more comfortable for you. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link to my website in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Taurus and/or the second house. Okay, interesting. The theme card that popped out for you is the Nine of Cups. And this is traditionally known as the wish card. The interesting thing is you also have, I'll skip over here to one of your advice cards, which is the Ten of Cups, which is like emotional fulfillment and culmination. Now what's interesting about the second half of January is I feel like there is everyone watching this video that has this North Node in Taurus or the second house. There's something that you have been kind of, dreaming of. For each of you, it's different. Someone, it could be like, getting married, starting a family, a new career, buying a home, moving somewhere, starting a business, or there's just like there's this dream inside each of you that have, and there might be multiple dreams too, where it's something that, it's this inner emotional wish that you have. Now, what's interesting is the way this is going to play out, because I feel like the second half of January, um, there is going to be a situation where it's going to be challenged in some way, and we'll get into that. We'll look at your timeline right now. You've got the Temperance card upright. You've got the King of Wands reversed, and you've got the Three of Wands reversed. Now, here's what I mean by challenge. One of the things about North Node in Taurus and or the second house are some key words like determination, resolve, resilience. It's like, you've heard the term, okay, Taurus is the bull, right? Taking the bull by the horns, going forward, right? And part of this is, like I said, this determination. And one of the things that we have when we're doing our North Node that can pop up is we can be tested or challenged to challenge and test our resolve. Now, what I think's happening is I think that there is a person that for each of you is going to appear. You may already know them, and that'll be the case for most of you, or it could be someone that pops up the second half. And that's what this reversed King of Wands is saying. And I feel like there's this energy of them trying to be like maybe a naysayer, or like one of the words we call it is like a dream killer. Like, in other words, you tell someone, yeah, this is what I really want to do. I have these goals and I have these dreams and I want to do this. And then, we've all experienced that where someone just says like, yeah, are you sure you can do that? Like, do you really have the time, the money, or, whatever it is, right? And we, we call them kind of like naysayers or like dream killers. Now, I think that's what this King of Wands is saying. Now, they're here to test your resolve. Can you move past this? This is a test of strength. Now, who this person is, they're not necessarily a male, female, or any gender, because the court cards, which is the king, queen, knight, page cards, they can be energies or they can be actual people, but they're not gender or sex specific. The king is just a certain energy, and I feel like it's a very kind of a forceful energy, and it is a possibility that because this is wands, it could refer to, they might have a lot of the astrological fire signs in them. So they could have, some aspect of, Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, but not necessarily, but they might have that strong in their chart. But it's a very kind of a strong energy to deal with. And what I feel like is a lot of you are nurturing these things inside you. And that's what this temperance is saying is, these things are like, they're blending and alchemizing inside you in order to kind of come out, because this is a lifetime for you to forge out on your own. To be a big word for Taurus North Node or second house North Node is independence, okay? To move out into something and into the world. And so this is like something that you've been thinking of. Now, when this person appears, what can happen is, and this is kind of the heads up for you, with this Three of Wands reversed, is my advice to you is to keep your dreams and goals more in close to you and hidden within you, okay? Like they say, like keep it close to your vest, right? Because that's where these people can appear, and they can appear because maybe they, out of envy or whatever, and they don't have dreams of their own, okay? But this is simply here to test your resolve. So if this person appears because they already know one of your goals or whatever, that's fine. But this is saying this card means two things. It's saying try not to let them know your future plans. But if they already do, one of the things that can happen is naysayers and dream killers can be really negative, because especially when we're beginning to nurture dreams and ideas, and when people kind of like shut them down, especially when they're new, it's like this, like a new sprouted plant that just comes out. I mean, they're delicate, you know, until they have a chance to really like get roots, right? So if they do, the thing is, don't let it hinder you, but recognize that right away, that they don't know, you know, you're being rewarded in this lifetime for stepping out and stepping into your power and into independence. You're being rewarded for that. And so whatever you set your mind and heart on, you can do. Okay, you have what it takes to do that. Now, your two advice cards are, you've got the Emperor card reversed, and you've got the Ten of Cups, as I was saying before. Now, the Ten of Cups is emotional fulfillment. What I feel like when I see this card, starting with this, is your dreams and desires, your wishes, your deepest wishes and desires, if you allow them and you are able to nurture them, you're able to water them, let them grow, let them get, you know, good roots, it can lead to emotional fulfillment. Okay. Now, this is what I was talking about with this Three of Wands, right? This is, if you don't allow it to get good roots, if you allow like naysayers to put negativity into your dreams and desires, and what it is you want for your future, there is an opportunity that you know, a possibility that it'll be more difficult to step into this power and make this happen, right? So really what you're needing to do here is you're needing to stand strong into who you are, because what this card is saying is, a strong emperor, you know, the strong emperor beats the King of Wands. Okay, and that's the energy I'm feeling. I'm feeling like this is truly about your resolve. Are you going to let someone in your life or people in your life dictate what it is you want to do in your future? I'm telling you here and now, if you have a Taurus North Node or North Node in the second house, and you put your mind to something, and you do it, and you just go for it, you can do it. And I'm seeing that it will lead down the road, if you continue on, to this emotional fulfillment. So yeah, very exciting stuff. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link to my website in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Gemini and or the third house. Okay, the theme card that popped out for you is the Nine of Swords. And what I feel like is a lot of you right now, you Gemini North Nodes or North Nodes in the third house, there could be some worry and anxiety that's going on with you in some aspect of your life, okay? Or or just in general. So worry, like maybe not getting the best sleep, or just like some general anxiety about different situations. And this, this is something that's common when, you see that people that are stepping into Gemini energy, because remember, the sign of Gemini in the third house is ruled by the planet Mercury. Okay. And Mercury is all about like thoughts. Okay. It's about thoughts and information. And as we step into our power in Gemini or the third house, you're opening up mind centers. And so, there could be some things when you're having to deal with like worry. There could be like, confusion, as I said, anxiety. And there is, a way out of this, okay? And I feel like this is going to subside. This is just something that's like kind of a carryover that may have been like building up. And I feel like there's going to be different situations for each of you. And I think there's going to be multiple. There could be like multiple worries on different fronts. So we'll look at your timeline cards and get some more clarity here. So you've got the Two of Cups reversed. You've got the Nine of Cups, and you've got the Five of Swords reversed. So starting with the Two of Cups, one of the things that could be a worry right now is something that has to do with a relationship, not necessarily a romantic relationship, but it could be that. But this could also be like a friendship, a work relationship, or some relationship with a family member type of thing, coworker. Okay, and there could be some worry and anxiety, regarding that. Now, this could be related or could be unrelated is another situation with this Five of Swords. There's an element of part of the worry and anxiety comes from a conflict in a situation that could have been like a little bit of like, I guess unpleasantness or almost like nastiness in a situation that you had to deal with. And there's some like leftover energy, regarding this. And these could be separate or they could be, related in some way. And, the Nine of Cups is interesting because it's like thrown right in the middle of this reading here. And part of the thing that's going on here is this anxiety is related to almost like it's like an overflow. The feeling I'm getting is an overflow of information that's coming in from different areas. And what the Nine of Cups is saying, it's almost like you have stepped into this lifetime, and you can think of like as you've gotten older, you've been presented with lots of pathways and roads, but this is representing like the singular path to happiness that a lot of you may think you need to take. So it's like the kind of crux of this whole thing is holding on to this singular path of happiness. Like, I'm going down this one road to happiness. And if you look back on your life, you've been constantly presented with alternative pathways, right? And I think right now what's happening is it's really being shown to you like, okay, it's time to look at other ways of being. And that's where this anxiety is coming from, because it's like you're being prompted to go in a different direction than you feel comfortable with, or you're being prompted to go in a different directions than you have always thought you should, and that's what this Nine of Cups is saying. This is your kind of ideal, what you think what you need to do for your happiness. And you're being asked to like maybe look at alternative ways. And so these situations that are coming up are coming up because they're trying to divert you. So like this situation with this, Two of Cups, with some sort of a relationship situation, it's trying to get you to think of a new pathway, to take a different road. And the same thing with this situation that could be anything with like situation with a family member, or something at work, but it was like some unpleasantness that happened, and it's again, it's getting you to try to divert your path into something that's better, because there's this energy of this singular path that you're being asked to divert from in some way. Okay, so just think of ways where, do I really have to just go this one way? Can I choose a new direction? Are there other directions that might be kind of good? And this is what's really kind of causing some anxiety. Now, your two advice cards are, you've got the Emperor reversed and you've got the Chariot reversed. Now, what's interesting is this is playing into what was just talking about. The Emperor, along with this Nine of Cups, this is saying like, okay, this is talking about your South Node in Sagittarius, and or the ninth house. Okay, I know what's best for me. I know that where I need to go, like being really set in what you need to do. And then the Chariot is a card of movement. Like I need to go down this path. I'm moving forward. But see, they're both reversed. So what this is doing is this is breaking up this singular path, the singular emotional way of being, singular, mental way of being, of thinking, right? And you are this, and when you break this up, you're able to like say, oh, okay, you're being unstuck is what's happening. But the way this can play out is it could be some anxiety. So what the advice here is to let go, be open to taking different directions. And it's okay to take a different direction, even though it might feel weird because you might have had it set like this is the way to go, right? And so you're being asked to like maybe just reconsider other areas. So this breaking up of this kind of one direction energy is causing the anxiety. And once you begin to like use your not only your intuition but your mind and say like, okay, can I be open to other ways of being, to taking different directions, you're going to see that these things are going to clear up in these situations. But the only reason that they came up in the first place is, like as I said, to kind of break up this stuck energy, right? And I feel like they will. Just think of, can I do something different than I've always done? Can I make some changes? Can I divert from the path that I thought that I needed to go down? Just ask yourself that. And you don't even have to do it. Just the act of considering it and thinking of alternative pathways kind of helps move things along and breaks things up so you could be kind of freed up. But I do see you freeing yourself of this energy. But as I said, if you're feeling this discomfort and anxiety, it will pass. And the quicker you can kind of choose new directions and new ways of being, it's going to really help that. So anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link to my website in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Cancer and or the fourth house. Okay, wow. Really interesting. So the theme card that popped out for you is the reversed Chariot, okay? And the Chariot card, rules the sign of Cancer, okay? And in the fourth house. This Chariot card reversed is, the Chariot is a card of movement. And in order for the Chariot, like any vehicle, to move forward in a straight direction, is for it to be balanced, right? If it veers one way, it's going to go one way or the other, right? And so this is about balance, and that's what these two sphinxes, the white and the black sphinx, is about. Balance and polarity. One of the things that's going on right now with a lot of you North Nodes in Cancer and or the fourth house, and just we're filming this the day after the full moon in Cancer here on the 13th, where I'm at. Could be a different day where you're at in your part of the world, but very, very emotional times. But one of the things I'm feeling like for you North Nodes in Cancer, especially because I'm a Cancer sun, is there's a feeling where it's almost like a lot of you feel good in a lot of areas of your life, but it's almost like you feel like it's not going quick enough in the direction that you want, or in slightly in the right direction. Like it's your life is moving, yet it's like not quite moving in the direction you want, okay? And this is just a feeling that is passing. It's gonna pass, and there's some ways to kind of go around it. But I feel like you're dealing with these feelings of, it's just like, um, not quite right. There's some aspects where you're just trying to, um, you know, get it more perfect in a way, is what I'm saying. Getting it moving in the right direction, okay? And I'm just feeling this energy of like, you know, wanting this to, like, it's not really bad or anything, but it's just like I want to get it moving in the right direction. Now, we'll get some more clarity. We'll look at your timeline cards. You've got the King of Cups reversed, okay, rules Cancer. You've got the Queen of Cups upright, and you've got the Four of Cups upright. Now, we'll start with the King and Queen here. Okay, this is again what it's not. The Queen is upright, the King is reversed. Now, the all of the court cards, the King, Queen, Knight, Pages, okay, as I always say, they could be real people in our lives, or they could be energies, okay? This is representing your North Node in Cancer and or the fourth house, right? This is, but again, you've got the King reversed and the Queen, upright. And what that is it's like the feeling of, okay, you feel good to a certain extent, but not good at the same time. It's this really weird feeling that I'm picking up for you. It's like, it's not completely terrible, but it's not like quite right. There's something that's like just slightly off, okay? And what that's leading to is it's leading to this Four of Cups, which is like a little bit of like emotional discontentment, okay? Now, the key for this is this. The key to get out of this kind of a funk is to add the element of, there is something that you aren't seeing in your life, because you can see here the person sitting by the tree, arms folded, looks kind of distraught about these three cups over here. But there's this other cup that's being offered, spiritually from the universe, right? There's something that you're not quite seeing emotionally clearly. And that's what you need to do, is see something in your life. And for each of you, it's going to be different, to see something with a different perspective emotionally in your life, because you're not seeing it. And that's part of this kind of weird, like, funk energy that is not quite, things aren't quite how you want them or desire them. It's because there's something that you need to learn, okay, for each of you. Now, how are you going to learn this? Okay, we're going to get into it. So let's look at your advice cards. Okay, you've got the Empress card reversed, and you've got the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Now, these cards are very similar, okay? They both are, these queens sitting in their power, um, you know, enjoying life, enjoying what life has to offer. And the reason that they're reversed is, what you're not seeing emotionally in your life is, you have to start looking at what is working and what is right. Like, recognize that. And that's what this cup here is saying, that one cup that you're not seeing, is that there are some really beautiful parts of your life that need to be recognized. And, starting with the Empress here, this could be like, you can see that there's the sigil here for the planet Venus here. So what kind of things emotionally are around you that need to be appreciated? Now, remember, you have your South Node in Capricorn and or the 10th house, right? So, with Capricorn energy, it doesn't really normally make like emotions first, number one, because emotions are not practical a lot of times, okay? But if you begin to look at what is around you that is like, nurturing to you, like what kind of relationships are around you, there's something that you're not recognizing with this cup here, right? you're not recognizing something around you emotionally. You're not recognizing like love, nurturing. There's things that are around you, even beautiful things like, you know, a wonderful neighbor or someone you work with or whatever. Not only to mention, our close friends, family, and other loved ones. Okay, but that's what needs to happen, and that's how you're going to get out of this funk. Because I think what's happening here is there's this struggle between your south node in Capricorn or the 10th house and your north node in Cancer and the 4th house. There's this struggle because you're being, when we are in our Capricorn selves and we have our nose to the grindstone and we've got a job to do and we've got work to do, it's hard to recognize, you know, those things around us that are emotionally fulfilling. Okay. And it's very common. Okay. That just, it's something that happens if we focus too much on the Capricorn side of our lives. There's the Cancer side of our lives is going to suffer. Now, the other thing of this, the Queen of Pentacles reversed is saying it's time to recognize also to like begin to think that what's valuable in your life is your enjoyment of life. Like, you don't defer your enjoyment for life. Like, I've got all these things to do. I've got this, I got that, I have that. I really don't have time. I'll enjoy life I'll enjoy life tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. Don't defer your enjoyment of life. Like, try each day to get some sort of, even as you're going through your practical day, okay, I get it, we all have to do that, but try to draw some sort of like pleasure and enjoyment out of like living. And that's what this is saying too with this cup, is there's something you're not recognizing. Like, are you paying attention to the wonderful meal that's in front of you, or are you just eating it really fast because you got to get back to work? Or are you really enjoying the beautiful morning that you're getting up? Are you tasting your coffee or tea? Are you really like enjoying what's around you? So that's what this is saying, that's how you're going to kind of get out of this, and you're going to balance your life out, because you're going to start to see the richness around you. And that's all this is. So if you've been feeling this way, that's all you need to do, is just to start to recognize what's important in you emotionally and around you. Those that the beautiful things that are coming from the heart that are around you. Okay. And then also the enjoyment of life. And when you do that, you're going to see that you're going to feel a lot better. And you can still be practical. We can still go to work, and we can make a living, and we can go to school, and we can do all that stuff we need to do. But it's about balance, and that's what this is saying. So when you balance these things out, you're just going to feel better emotionally and mentally. Okay. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value. And thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link to my website in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Leo and or the 5th house. Okay, interesting. The card that popped out is the 5 of Wands reversed. Now, all of the 5 cards are challenges, but when they're reversed, it's like a reversal of a challenge. And when I saw this card, I feel like a lot of you are coming over, what the 5 of Wands is. It's like, it could be like conflict, or it could be like confusion too, like situations that are confusing, and kind of like a real sticky situation that is confusing. But I feel like you're coming out of a period where I feel like there's a people or a person in your life where you felt like it was, kind of holding you back in a way. And I feel like that is now ending. Like, you're coming out, a lot of you are coming out, And you might not fully be out of it yet, but you're slowly coming out of this period of like conflict and confusion. And there's a clarity that I'm feeling for you that's coming out more. Like things are becoming more clear. And for most of you, I don't feel like you're completely out of it yet, but you're in this process of things becoming more clear to you. Like it's almost like when you see here, there's all these people that are in this like confusing situation. They're all cracking their wands and so when you're able to step back, if one person kind of steps back and sees it and they're like, oh, okay, like you can get a perspective. But when you're in it, it's hard to get that perspective. But I feel like a lot of you are getting this kind of clarity. You're stepping back from a situation or situations that's able to kind of you know give you this more clear direction. So let's look at your timeline. We'll get some more clarity right here. You've got the Justice card upright. You've got the Devil card reversed. And you've got the Four of Wands upright. Now, starting with the Justice card, this is that clarity that I was talking about, because this card has many layers of meaning, but one of the things is that it's like something that is like a judge making a decision. When they make a judgment, they have seen everything, they get a perspective, and they're able to make with a clear mind this judgment. And it's about clarity. All of the swords in the tarot are about the mind and the intellect, right? And so I feel like there's this clarity that's coming regarding your life, and it could be a certain situation or different situations. Now, with the Devil card reversed, okay, the Devil card, I always talk about on my channel, all the so-called scary cards, Death, the Devil, the Tower card, okay, they're nothing to be afraid of. What the Devil is, this is about, it could be about fear. That's what I feel like. It could be fear and anxiety. It could be obsessions. It could be, addictions and all this. But what I feel like overall, this is like fear for you that is passing away as you're becoming more clear about your life. There are fears that are dropping away. And I think if all of you think back, like, especially in the past, like 6 months, I feel like even though you might not be perfectly on that path yet, I feel like you've dropped a lot of fear, in your life, and things have become more clear, because I feel like, for a lot of you, you've been holding on to a lot of like deep-seated, fears of going out into the world and what am I going to do, and just different situations. And I feel like that's passing away. You're getting kind of more clarity. Now, where it's heading here is you have the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands, yes, it's a card of celebration, but the number 4 is in numerology is about structure. Okay, it's like the four corners of a table or the four corners of a house on a foundation, right? And it's structure. And I feel like where you're headed into 2025, a lot of you, is that you are learning to like enjoy life more and enjoy the gifts that have been given you. Like I feel like there's this discovery process that's been going on, because as you're getting more clarity and stepping out of fear, you're able to really celebrate some of the gifts that you've been given and recognize those gifts. I feel like coming up through the end of winter and through spring, I feel like a lot of you are stepping into like better times, okay? And this has to do with seeing things clearly and stepping out of like a lot of fear and anxiety. So yeah, definitely better days are coming, and you want to use that energy to your benefit. Like really think about ways that you can like push your life forward. Like what is it you want to do? Keep pushing for that. But I feel like there's going to be this kind of an energy of like optimism is what I feel, because it's like, yes, this is a card of celebration, but to me, the key word is it's like this new optimism as you're dropping these fears. Now, your two advice cards are, you've got the Eight of Cups upright, and you've got the Five of Cups. So we'll start with the Eight of Cups. One of the things that's helped you, and this is something you have to continue to do, is walking away from your old emotional past. Okay? And I think a lot of you are like doing that. You're making sense of this emotional past, and you're saying, okay, that was the past. I'm done with that. I'm walking away from it. But these cups, the reason that they're all stacked up in a pattern is because you've made sense of them. You didn't just say, oh, I'm leaving my, you kick all the cups down the road, they're all scattered, and you're like walking away. You haven't made sense of the cups that way. This you've made sense of. You've said, okay, I understand why this happened. I understand what I have to do. It's time for me to move away from that. Now, I feel like with this is talking about another group of you. Okay, so some of you are going to be able to do that. But with the Five of Cups, I feel like there's going to be a group of you that are going to have a more difficult time walking away. Now, the interesting thing about this card is that the cups are on the ground. They have not made sense of what's happened, but there are two cups behind them still that there is something there. Like they still have something of value, but they're not seeing it because it's behind them. They're not able to move away, to turn around, make sense of those emotional things that have happened, and turn around in order to move away from them. So there's going to be a group of you that aren't going to, it's not going to be quite as easy. Just remember this. Remember that this year is really important, and I feel like it's going to begin this second half of January. It's important for you to let your emotional past go, okay? Whatever has happened, and that's part of it. This is the more clear you can get about your future, and you need to just leave whatever has happened behind. You need to walk away from it, because if you don't, you can stay stuck in that. So this is a heads up to both groups of you, North Nodes in Leo and or the fifth house, is it's time to make sense of what's happened, to walk away from it. You're dropping these fears. And I feel like when you do that, the great energy is more stability in your life, and lots more celebration. And look at life as a celebration, because here's the interesting thing that we don't always talk about with the North Node in Leo. But Leo in the fifth house rules games. And one of the things that can help you with making sense of your life is to begin to look at your life like a game. Okay, you're a character in a game. Something has happened, that's fine. You hit the reset button and it's time to move on. You are not done yet. Whatever's happened has happened. This is a new game. It's always really good to look at your life, if you have a North Node in Leo, that and or the fifth house, as a game, and play it that way. You always can roll the dice again. You can always keep moving. You can hit that reset button on the PlayStation, okay, and you can always move forward. But yeah, this is what I'm seeing for your future, is really a lot of enjoyment through the act of creating your own destiny, is really what this is saying. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link to my website in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Virgo and or the sixth house. Okay, interesting. The theme card that popped out for you is the Temperance card. And this is a card of inner alchemy and balancing. And it's interesting, just to see right here, I see another card of balance over here with the Two of Pentacles. So the second half of January, there are things that are balancing out in your life that are helping you to heal. And I feel like, again, like there's some past healing that's coming into play here. And in, specifically, I feel like there is going to be a situation to where you're being offered this emotional healing from someone close to you. I feel like there's going to be, it's almost like a mutual thing, like a partnership in a way, meaning that, you know, like you're helping them, they're helping you in a way. Um, and it's interesting because this is helping, like this energy that I'm feeling is this emotional healing that is this mutual benefiting kind of energy that, a lot of you maybe haven't experienced before. And I feel like it's going to come from, someone close to you. It could come from even like, yes, from like, friends, family, like a close loved one, but even like a work partner, or even like somewhere like there's like, you know someone that is into that, like therapy, or something to that effect. Even something that you read could be part of this. Let's look at your timeline. I'll get some more clarity on this. We've got the Nine of Swords upright. We've got the Two of Cups upright, and we've got the Ace of Cups reversed. Now, this is what I'm talking about with the Two of Cups and the healing. You could see here that, the lion with wings with the caduceus of, healing is here. And I feel like there's this person that is going to help you, and you're going to help them. There's this mutual thing that's coming in with this energy. And what they're helping you with, as I said, is healing. And you've got the Nine of Swords over here. So they're healing you with some sort of like, anxiety, mental, emotional anxiety, things like worry, something to that effect. And remember, like, what your North Node is, in Virgo or the sixth house is, Virgo in the sixth house is the sign and the house of healing, and of all sorts, physical, mental, emotional healing. And I feel like what's happening here is this, it's almost like this person is helping train you to, like, even though there's this equal mutual benefit to it, it's almost like you're mirroring each other. Like, you're seeing how they're benefiting you, and that's like a mirror, and and then it's like reflecting back to them. Because really, the people in our lives, really what they are, they reflect back to us what we most need to learn. Sometimes, challenging things, and sometimes, wonderful things. In this case, it's a wonderful thing. And so I think this is like a mirror reflecting back how, oh yeah, I can be this for myself, I can be this for others. So yeah, this is a beautiful energy right now that is kind of helping you with this. And I feel like there's more work to do. So when this person comes in, you're gonna be able to help them. They're gonna be able to help you. But with this Ace of Cups, it's not going to be quite like over yet. Like, in other words, there's more work to do. But this is kind of like the beginning stages of this. And everybody that has their North Node in Virgo and or the sixth house, I mean, it can be a very challenging North Node because of that South Node in the 12th house and or Pisces. You could have had some really intense experiences in past lives and very intense, difficult situations in this life. So a lot of times there's a lot of healing that has to take place. So this is this is one aspect of it that I feel like the second half of January is going to be the situation where it's someone is reflecting back to you the healing that you can not only give to yourself but give to others. So it's like this mutual reflection back and forth. Now your advice cards are, you've got the Two of Pentacles upright, and you've got the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands, like this is a card of fast movement forward. And I feel like from here on out, I feel like this is going to free up a lot of energy in your life when you experience this healing, to where you're going to move very quickly into a better state, because with this Ace of Cups, I feel like it won't stay reversed for very long. I feel like a lot of you are going to move forward and really clear a lot of old hurts and anxiety, and just kind of away from you, and you're like moving away from it. And again, with this Two of Pentacles here, it's a little bit, it can be a difficult situation doing this balancing. You can see it's like topsy-turvy here. You've got a turbulent body of water, with waves going here. So it's a process. It's a process to keep everything balanced. But again, that's what's happening here, is that this is about this inner alchemy and balancing out in your life. But I feel like, in a nutshell, the second half of January is an opportunity to continue your path of inner healing. And you're going to feel wonderful, because part of your gifts that you have is, most of you have like a beautiful compassion for not only, the world, life, the universe, but also other people. And I feel like what's going to happen is, when this energy is reflected back to you, because you've given this energy out, and it's reflected back, it's just going to make you feel wonderful. And this is helping you heal more and kind of like move down this path. So yeah, a really wonderful second half of January for you. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link to my website in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Libra and or the 7th house. Okay, very interesting. The card that popped out for you is the Two of Swords. And what's unusual about this is the fact that when I saw this, what I felt automatically was about setting boundaries, particularly like kind of protecting your heart and your mind, like, setting boundaries, having to set boundaries with a situation in your life. And the reason this is unusual is because, normally for you North Nodes in Libra and the 7th house, that's not a difficult thing, because of your South Node in Aries, ruled by Mars, and or the 7th house also ruled by Mars. And what's interesting is, I think that a lot of you have done really well in, especially over this past, these past 18 months, when, the North Node has been in Aries, and the South Node's been in Libra. And this still affects, you, even though you have your North Node in Libra, and South Node in Aries. So it's still affecting you. And I feel like this is unusual, because you're being asked to, this time, having to, with a situation, set boundaries. But here's the difference. What they're asking you to do in this reading, this is what I'm getting the energies, is setting boundaries with someone or some people or a situation, but with finesse. So there's a way to go about something in a very Aries way or Mars way, which is just kind of like my way or the highway. I'm setting boundaries, the swords coming down type of a thing. But this is setting boundaries in a different way. It's like a more of a delicate finesse situation. So let's kind of look at your timeline, and we'll get some more clarity on this. Okay, so you've got the Hierophant reversed. You've got the Ace of Swords upright, and you've got the 10 of Swords reversed. So what I think is going on the second half of January here is, the situation is something to where, it's something that I feel is from your past. Like I feel like it's involving someone, either like, that a situation from your past. So that could involve, friends, family, love relationships, work relationships, but it's something based in the past. And it's a very the energy is like, with this Hierophant, it's like almost like a conditioning type of a thing. Like I feel like you've been conditioned with this situation, whoever it is, whether it's a person or like multiple people. But the situation, you've been almost conditioned, because this is like tradition, right? But you've been conditioned to act a certain way. And I feel like what you want to do is you want to set a boundary with this situation, okay? And that's what this is saying here with this Ace of Swords. This is like, the wisdom of when to pick up your sword, when to kind of lay it down. And I feel like what it is I think this is a lot of it's mental finesse. So what you're being asked to do is not let it get to you emotionally, okay? And then, use your intellect and your words and your communication and your mind in order to finesse this situation. And I feel like what it is that this is kind of like there's a situation in your life, this situation, where it has to transform, because it's kind of gone on too long in a certain way. And I don't know why with this particular situation or relationship, you haven't been able to really, I guess, set boundaries in a way, because like I said, it's highly unusual for people that have South Node in the Aries and or the first house. So that's that's unusual. The only thing I can think is like one example would be, for example, if there was a parental figure, like, and this is just an example. It could actually apply to some of you, but like, let's say that there was a parental figure, and that you've always like, well, I respect them, and they have an authority over me, and you might have taken more than you should take, and or more that you would normally take, and so you have to kind of finesse it. And I feel like what it is that you're being asked to kind of like draw a line in the sand and kind of set this on a different course. And that's what this Ten of Swords is saying. Okay, so this is like, this has come to an end. And it's a great skill to have in doing this. What do I mean by like, handling it with finesse? Well, a lot of times with, Aries energy or Mars energy, it could be like, we don't always have to, come in to a situation with a cannon, like you can sometimes, when, you just need a little bit of, like a SWAT or something like that. You don't necessarily need the force. And that's what you can see with Aries a lot of times, is it's just like all or nothing. And so, you can handle this by just kind of, like, for example, calmly using your words, but firmly, and say, no, this isn't gonna happen this way. And so it's a great skill to have for you, because, you're learning to be more Libra-like in seventh house, which is the ability to get along with people. And when we're working with people, let's say, hey, getting along with people in different relationships is not easy. Okay, it is not. And sometimes it doesn't require black and white all the time. It doesn't require like, I'm either going to have a cannon or I'm going to come in with a feather. There's a lot in between those two extremes, and that's essentially what this is saying. Now, your advice cards are, you've got the Fool card reversed, and you've got the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups, this is referring to, this is something from your past. So I feel like this situation has things that are in your past, in your emotional past. That's why I said it could be, family, close family, longtime friends. It could be, as I said, even a work relationship or a romantic relationship. But this, what this is this is in your past because you have learned that there are certain people that you can go like full Aries Mars on, and then others you haven't. So this is about learning how to kind of go in between. And you've been conditioned. That's where this conditioning has come in. You've been conditioned to kind of in a black or white, like, okay, all of these people I can go full Mars on, and then these people I really have to hold back. And so what you're learning is this kind of like balance, right? But it's based in your conditioned past. Now the Fool card reversed. This is interesting because this is telling you, like, essentially that a lot of times with these relationships that I'm talking about, where you have had to like hold back and not felt like you could set boundaries, you thought that it was because it was going to be super detrimental to your life. And that's where the conditioning comes in. Like, for example, it's almost like the thing that popped in my mind is you see this a lot of times where um, a tiger cub, I watched this recently. A tiger cub was raised by a golden lab mother, right? From a small cub. And then this lion cub grew up to be like 600 pounds. But the cub acted so completely docile with the small dog. The dog was maybe like 95 pounds or something like that, right? And it, because the whole size difference didn't matter because it was psychological. That's what I'm saying. So what you're learning is that there's certain relationships that you still have to set boundaries, and you have to stand up for yourself, but you can do it with finesse. Now when you are dealing with this, like, as I said, you don't want to go full blast on it. Okay, and so that's what you're learning. So for each of you, it's going to be a little bit different. It could be a boss, it could be, as I said, a longtime friend, a relative. For each of you, it's going to be different. But just remember, learn that there are more ways to handle situations, as opposed to sunshine and butterflies, Libra, and or just like coming in Mars, warrior mode. There's a lot of ways in between, and that's essentially what this is. Try to find the finesse in dealing with situations the second half of January, and it's great for the whole year. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Scorpio and or the 8th house. Okay, so the theme card that popped out for you is the 5 of Wands here. And this is a card of, yes, it can be competition, it can be conflict, it could be confusion, like a confusing situation, dealing with other people. When I saw this, what I think is that for me, what stood out was a messy, sticky kind of situation. And so the second half of January, I think that each of you in a certain way or multiple ways could be going through this situation that just seems kind of like confusing and messy. And I feel like your initial reaction would be, and this is a very, Taurus South Node or second house South Node, like, I just want to keep it simple. I don't want to get involved in this, okay? But you're being asked to kind of go into this and pick up one of the wands and go in there and like try to make sense of this situation. Now there's going to be a benefit for doing this, okay? So it's going to be a situation that you really are not loving to kind of get involved with, but you know, that's part of your path, is like learning to kind of go into situations and you know, kind of have to sort things out. Okay, that's part of North Node in Scorpio, or the 8th house. So let's look at your timeline cards. You've got the 10 of Pentacles upright, you've got the Star card upright, and you've got the 10 of Wands upright. So I think that this is going to have to do with, for most of you, it's probably going to have to do with some sort of a family dynamic situation. And you're going to be able to sort it out, okay? And it could involve, you know, it could involve something about, you know, like money and finances. It could be something else, just like, you know, some sort of a personality clash, or certain people in the family aren't getting along, or, you know, and this also, if it's not family for some of you, it could be work related also, and or you know, like in a friends group, or you know, something to that effect. Now, here's the thing: you got the Star card here, and this is a card that, you know, getting in here and doing this, and getting into the whole situation and trying to, you know, set it correct and set it right, there's going to be a benefit, because the Star card is a very karmic card, and this is a time to where you can really level up on your path. Okay, and I'm going to give you some pointers of like how to kind of like deal with the situation the best way. But the way it's going to feel, so like this is an opportunity for you to like really level up and, you know, get some benefits from the universe. Because whenever we do well on our path, on our North Node path, we get rewards from the universe, because the universe is all about balance in all things. Okay, in everything from like microorganisms to nature, to, you know, the galaxies and the rotations of planets. Okay, to us, everything's about balance. But how this is going to feel, you know, with this 10 of Wands, is it's going to feel like a burden, like you're just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to get involved. That's what I'm saying with this. So it's going to feel like a burden, but trust me, there's a benefit for getting involved with this, because it is part of your learning path to kind of go beneath the surface of situations and try to sort them out. Now, your advice cards are, you've got the 6 of Swords upright, and you've got the 9 of Pentacles reversed. So with the 6 of Swords, which is interesting, this is moving away from trouble. And I feel like your role in this is, because of your, you know, your beautiful Taurus South Node energy, or second house South Node energy. I think that you're going to play the role in this situation of, could be for some of you like a referee or a judge in a way, and you're going to help, you can help people move away from it, like, you know, like separating, you know, sides or whatever. So I don't feel like a lot of you are going to be, you might be directly involved to a certain, you know, extent, but I feel like you're just going to be like kind of in the middle. A lot of you are going to be in the middle, and so that's how you're going to help the situation, is moving it along and kind of like, you know, okay, everybody, let's just put it behind us, let's shake hands and kind of move on, that type of a situation. And then this 9 of Pentacles reversed, this is saying that, like, look, the benefit for doing this, going along with this Star card, is it's going to feel like this is a disruption, okay, in your kind of peace, right? But really what you're doing, so that's how the feeling is going to be, is like some sort of a disruption to your life in some way. But actually what's going to happen is, it's going to have a stabilizing effect, because I'm feeling like that this is going to, what your role is in helping this. And even though it might seem like it could be like a burden, you know, on your life and your life enjoyment, I feel like after it's sorted out, you're going to see that it's going to bring kind of like more of a more harmony, you know, to your life, because maybe this has been going on for a while, or maybe there was just like some kind of bad energy. And when it's cleared up, you're going to see like, okay, I'm actually glad, even though how many times have we done that, right? Where we dread something or don't want to get into something, right? But then we say to ourselves, okay, I'm glad I did. That's what I'm saying here. Like you're going to say, I'm glad I did. And the piece that you thought that you were like sacrificing, you're going to see that it's actually going to be better. So yeah, just look for the second half of January here to like get into these sticky situations, help to sort them out, be like the peacemaker, and it's not going to be perfectly easy, but you got this, and there's going to be a benefit for doing it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this reading helpful. If you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link to my website in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Sagittarius and or the 9th house. Okay, so the theme card that popped out for you is the 7 of Swords. And I feel like for you, North Nodes in Sag and or the 9th house, there's going to be a situation where that's going to come up the second half of January here where there's going to be something sneaky going on, okay? And with the practice for you is actually tapping into the situation and recognizing it through two ways. Through not only your intellect and thinking ability, but also your intuition. One of the things that's not really readily known or talked about with the Gemini Sagittarius, your South Node in Gemini, North Node in Sag, okay, that axis, okay, that polarity is you're highly intuitive. Very, very highly intuitive. And that's really not known because you're dealing with, like an air sign, Gemini, and you're dealing with the fire sign, but you are intuitive. So there's going to be something that's kind of sneaky under the radar that you need to recognize by using the power of your like vision and intellect, but also with your intuition. Now we'll look at your timeline here. You've got the 5 of Wands reversed. You've got the Ace of Pentacles reversed, and you've got the Chariot card. I feel like for a lot of you, the situation that is underhanded could have an element that has to do with money, finances, property, things of value. Also, things of value such as your time. Okay, so it could be tangible physical things, but also it could be things like, like your time and your energy too, okay? So it's going to involve that. Now, the reason it's going to be hard to recognize is with this 5 of Wands reversed is the situation is going to be kind of confusing, like a little bit chaotic, okay? And so it's going to be hard to kind of see what's going on. I feel like there's some confusion. It's like foggy, right? And so it's going to require you to use that intuition. So I feel like how it's going to play out is you're going to be getting some signals, like you're going to recognize some things, recognize some patterns. And that's where I'm saying like that vision and that intellect. And then you're going to have to use your intuition to go further. Because if you just use your mind, you might talk yourself out of it. Like, oh, I don't know if I'm right about that. So when you combine them, you're going to you basically are having to trust yourself, trust your instincts. Okay. So in this situation, when you recognize it, you're going to be able to move forward. Okay. And you're going to move beyond this. So there's a huge benefit for doing this. Maybe you're going to see a situation or relationship in a new way for the first time, okay? But however this is, it's going to be beneficial to you because it's like you're not wasting your time within that situation anymore. You're able to like move forward, and this is going to propel you, forward, and not like it's. I don't feel like it's going to be any sort of an energy draw on your life. So yeah, it's a very positive thing. Now, your advice cards are, you've got the King of Swords upright, and you've got the Nine of Swords reversed. We'll start with the Nine of Swords. So there is one of the ways you're going to recognize this situation, and one of the things that always triggers your intuition, because intuition is comes out in different people in different ways. For you, what it is it comes in like, it's almost like your intuition is almost like an anxiety, especially if it's something like you need to recognize that's kind of a little bit of a challenge or negative. And so it comes in as an anxiety. So you might just have this, and you won't understand it. You won't understand, like, why am I like feeling anxious, or why do I have anxiety with this person or this situation, type of a thing. And so it's going to feel like this kind of like a slight nagging anxiety. And when you combine it with this King of Swords, because this is saying, this is what I was talking about with like using your intellect, using the benefits that you have of that South Node in, the third house and or Gemini, right? You're going to be able to recognize, because one of the gifts you have is, South Nodes in Gemini understand people. They understand people a lot, and that has to do with having to deal with in past lives lots of different kinds of people. Like South Nodes in Gemini, and or the third house can make excellent salespeople, because they understand kind of human psychology. So I feel like when you combined that keen intellect, just like being sharp and observant of how people are, with that anxiety, then you're going to be able to put the pieces together, and you're going to discover, some sort of, as I said, a sneaky situation. Now, for each of you, it's going to be different as far as the situation, and how, you know, I guess you could say, intense the situation is. It could be anything from something kind of minor, or to something that is a little bit more of a major sneaky situation. As I said, for each of your lives, it's going to be different. But this is what you're learning the second half of January. So when you start feeling, if you're in a situation, in a relationship, or any sort of a situation with people, and you're feeling this anxiousness, start going into it and questioning it, and then bring in that intellect and kind of like dig a little bit deeper, like kind of investigate into that. But that's your inner knowing is like that. And I feel like what happens, even for good things, so like when your intuition is trying to pick up, this is just like a little side note, if it's something positive, like, you know should I like make this investment, or should I get into this relationship? And what happens with that is, instead of it being an anxious, it'll be kind of like, when you ask that question, it's going to be like an inner, um instead of anxious, like kind of like a warm feeling, or like a good feeling, almost like an excitement, but in a good way. So that's like your inner GPS system. That's kind of how it works for you, north nodes in Sag and or the ninth house, right? So either, some sort of anxiousness, and kind of being wary, or kind of like an inner excitement. Okay. But yeah, just recognize the situation, and then you're going to be able to move forward from it. It's really going to help you kind of propel to kind of a better place. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this reading helpful. If you would like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link to my website in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Capricorn and or the 10th house. Okay, interesting. The theme card that popped out for you is the Queen of Wands. And it was interesting when I saw this card. I got this, like I do a lot of times, where I got this like whole little kind of phrase and like mini little movie that was playing, and the phrase that came out was inspiration, like north nodes in Capricorn in the 10th house, they are able to move forward in life through inspiration. And then I had, as I was like, dealing out the rest of the cards, the thought occurred to me, when, and this is so true for north nodes in Capricorn or the 10th house. A lot of times, a lot of you have spent your life, if you look back, you've been prodded along by people, like starting off with like parents, like teachers, bosses, older brothers and sisters, or something, even like friends. But like a lot of times when you have your south node in Cancer and or the 4th house like you do, you're prodded along, like go out there, like push you out into the world. And a lot of you have experienced this kind of like pushing out into the world. And where you really shine is when you're not prodded or pushed, but when you are inspired to do something. So it's like, the thought was crossing my mind as far as like, what does a good leader do in a company, like an owner of a company or someone in management? They can motivate people in one of two ways. They can motivate them by like prodding them and threatening them and doing all that, or they can inspire them, to get inspired to do something. So what I feel like is happening is, I think the second half of January, there's going to be inspiration that's coming in for each of you somewhere. And I feel like it's going to come from, different places. Like, I feel like for some of you, it could come from another person. From some of you, it's like maybe a seminar or, you go to, or like a book you read. But you're going to be inspired. And because I feel like a lot of you, you have these dreams of things that you want to do. And for whatever reason, if they're not like fully manifesting yet, the missing puzzle piece is that inspiration. I do feel for a lot of you, it's going to be like an actual person, like you are going to be inspired by someone else. But as I said, it could come from different areas, listening to a podcast or something to that effect, right? Now, let's see how this is going to play out. Your timeline cards are, you've got the 2 of Swords reversed. You've got the King of Cups upright. And you've got the Emperor card upright. Now, I feel like these are, the Emperor and the King of Cups are cards that are helping to inspire you. Like, I feel like this is some point of inspiration where you're realizing like this is your potential. Like, even though this is a card that does rule like all the water signs, including Cancer in the 4th house, the Emperor and the King of Cups combined is like the ultimate place that you can go in your life. Like, it's like you're the highest vision of what you can be. And remember, as I always say, the tarot cards are not necessarily like sex or gender specific, right? So this doesn't mean this is only talking to males, right? Because a male or female can get any card. Any sort of a gender can get one of the cards. They're just different flavors, right? And so this is like these cards represent together they represent the benevolent leader. And I feel like the inspiration is coming because you're seeing and starting to be inspired to your highest potential. And that's what you're like working toward. Now, how this is going to happen is really interesting. Is with this 2 of Swords, what's going to happen the second 2 weeks is there's going to be this point to where you literally feel like a veil, or these swords are being lifted from your solar plexus, from your heart. And It's like it's almost like fear and anxiety dropping away, but it's this point of, and I've experienced, everyone who's experienced like getting a point of when they're unsure in their life and all of a sudden they get inspired, it's like everything else, like the anxiety and the worry kind of melts away. And you can actually pinpoint when that happens. And it happens, as I said, it could happen like someone's just sitting in a seminar, and then, it could be a weekend seminar, a day seminar, and then all of a sudden they hear something and then it finally clicks. And that's what I feel. I think something is going to finally click for you, okay? And it's going to be the beginning of moving in this new direction of kind of inspiration. Now, your two advice cards are interesting. You've got the Four of Cups reversed, and you've got the Seven of Swords reversed. Starting with the Seven of Swords reversed. Now, one of the meanings of this card is something like sneaky and underhanded, okay? That's one of the meanings, one of the many meanings. One of the other main meanings is especially when it's reversed, is something that has been taken is being returned, because you can see that this person is like sneaking off with all these swords, right? But when it's reversed, it's like something that has been taken from you. And one thing that has been taken from you for a lot of you is possibly like a little bit of not only inspiration but like maybe self-confidence. And I feel like that's coming back. There's something that's this whole thing is, after you're inspired, there's something that's returning. It could be like you when you were younger, when you thought that you were the whole world, like you could do anything you wanted. Like I just feel like a old part of you is coming back, a piece of you is going to be coming back and returning to you, and that's what part of this inspiration is. And you're going to feel it, because it's going to be like, you're going to feel like, wow, like I haven't really felt like this in a long time. I'm really excited about whatever this is. And then the Four of Cups reversed is saying that you are going to recognize that something, when this comes in, I almost feel like this is like kind of a gift from the universe, because when this card's upright, it's like the person is distracted by emotional issues and they don't see what is really happening. They don't see the emotional gifts that are being offered them. Okay. But when this is reversed, this is about recognizing, again, it's just like this, Seven of Swords reversed. It's about recognizing like, oh, wow, like this has been given to me. A lot of times when people get inspired, they have mentioned, it's almost like, yeah, it just clicked. It was like like some gift was handed to me. And I feel like that's what you're gonna feel like. And it's gonna feel great. And all you have to do with this is you just have to kind of go with it. And you just take however you feel comfortable, but you're going to move forward into this inspiration. And I feel like what it's inspiring you to do is change your life direction in some way, in a good way. For some of you, it could be, go out and, getting more education, or going into a new career, starting your own business, you know, inspired to whatever it is, on a personal level, like with, family, like starting a family. For each of you, as I said, it's going to be different. But this inspiration is going to feel like, so after the end of January and into February, it's going to be like this whole like breath of fresh air. There's this vibrancy that's coming in. So yeah, really, really great reading for you. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link to my website in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Aquarius and or the 11th house. Okay, interesting. So the theme card that popped out for you is the Eight of Pentacles reversed. And I feel like for the second half of January, for you North Nodes in Aquarius and or the 11th house, it's all about work or what you do for a living. I think there's going to be a situation where it could feel like a little bit of a challenge, but when you overcome it, you are going to be in a better place, okay? Now, even if you are a person who isn't working like a job or a career, this still applies because it's what you're doing um, like every day. Like if you were a stay-at-home parent, okay, this would still apply to that's what you do for your work, right? Or even if you are retired and you volunteer somewhere, okay, so it's like what you're doing on a regular basis. Or if you're retired and you're uh, you stay at home. This totally applies. It's what you do on a daily basis for work, the things you have to do. Now, I feel like there could feel like a little bit of a challenge because what I'm getting with this Eight of Pentacles is there could be a feeling for some of you that you don't feel appreciated in what you do. And this is very common for like your North Node, because of you have a South Node in Leo and or the 5th house. You have a lot of natural gifts and creativity, and you want to give those out to the world. Like you are very talented. Everyone that has this North Node in Aquarius and or the 11th house is talented. But what has to happen here is that sometimes there's a time when we aren't recognized the way that we feel like we should. And I feel like if you're patient with it, recognition will come. But there could be a feeling the second half of January, like I said, where you don't feel like appreciated for what you are giving. And this is in any form of, as I said, work or career, or things you're doing on a daily basis. Okay, somewhere in your life you're not fully being appreciated. Now let's look at your timeline, and we'll kind of dig more into this. So you've got the Emperor card upright. You've got the King of Pentacles upright, and you've got the Four of Wands upright. I think that these two cards, the King of Pentacles and the Emperor card, these are authority figures. So this could refer to a boss or a supervisor, or like even if you're a student, this could apply. That's what you do for your work. Okay, it could be a teacher or professor. If you are in a romantic relationship, the authority figures could apply, because as I always say, people that we're in a relationship with are authority figures in their life, in our life. It doesn't mean that they're over us, like an authority over us, but because the relationship is so important, they become authority figures, right? We care what they think, and so on, vice versa, right? So I feel like this is where this is coming from. But what I feel like is I feel like that you feel like you're not appreciated, but I feel that you really are. I feel that there are people around you, including these supervisors, that even if they don't, whoever these authority figures are, even if they don't express it, and you feel this way, maybe you feel like underappreciated. I feel like they do. And yes, they probably need to express it more and show it in different ways. But here's the thing. Where this is headed, okay, is if you can just go through with this, if you can just keep giving what you give, like, give of yourself, of your work, of your creativity. If you can continue on, what you're doing is you can get past this. And what this is a test for your South Node in Leo, because sometimes, when you're dealing with like let's say a large company, right? And there's lots of people, okay, and sometimes like a Leo South Node, or a 5th house South Node, which I am, sometimes you could feel like you're lost in the shuffle. But it's not that you're not appreciated because you're not like valued. It's just that there's so much going on. It could be like, or if it's a significant other, maybe like, you've done a really great job with doing something. If you did some repairs around the house, or worked around the house, or cooked dinner. And as I said, this could be either any gender or sex. Okay, either way, did something in a relationship and it's not recognized. It's not that you're not valued, but see, that Leo South node, wants recognition. That fifth house wants the recognition. So what you're being asked to do is just to be patient. Like, don't you don't have to do anything. This is a test in patience, and just continue you being you being your awesome self. Just giving of yourself, because that's what it takes to be part of, the greater good, right? Where this is a lifetime for you, like, not necessarily to always stand out. Okay, even though you have so much to give, even though you have the ability to stand out, sometimes it's like, okay, I'm just going to do my thing. And what this is saying is rewards will come for doing this. And I feel like you are, if you ever feel underappreciated, I feel like most of you are way more appreciated than you know, even if it's not shown. Okay. And I get it. Like, sometimes we do need to be shown that, but this is kind of a test for you to kind of go through this and just be, you know, go with the program type of a thing. And then the rewards will come. Now, your advice cards are kind of bearing this out. You've got the Ace of Swords upright, and you've got the Knight of Swords reversed. Now, the Knight of Swords reversed, all of the Knight cards are cards of movement, right? And the fastest of all the Knights is the Knight of Swords, but it's reversed. What this is saying is that the test for you is, when you feel this feeling, whenever this comes up, not only the end of this month in January, but all the time, when you feel something come up like, they should appreciate me, like I do all of this and I'm this and that, okay, and when you feel that, do not act on it. Like, do not act on it, because a lot of times you could be mistaken, and it's just like, they're busy a lot of times, they're distracted, okay? And so you're being asked to, like, this is literally hold your horses, okay? Don't go with that. And what this is saying is, with the Ace of Swords, is continue, doing what you do. That's what I was saying here. Just continue to, like, you know, you are holding space, you are doing your thing, you're being creative, and you're standing strong. You are going to be recognized at some point, but we can't always be recognized all the time. And that's one of the things that you're learning, is you're learning to be like, okay, sometimes I just have to be in the background sometimes, okay? And your time will come, because, and this is all based on your past life, with a, Leo South node, or fifth house, because you were so used to getting this recognition, and when it doesn't come, it feels, trust me, I know it feels like an underappreciation. But just hang in there, do your thing, continue giving, and the recognition will come. And trust me, you are way more valued than you know. Okay, you are, and it'll be shown. But as I said, it can't be shown all the time. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link to my website in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Pisces and or the 12th house. Okay, wow, very interesting. So the theme card that popped out for you is the Ace of Swords reversed. And it's going along here, you have this Knight of Swords reversed here, which we'll get into in a minute. But what this is saying is the second half of January, one of the things you're learning is to, like, in one word, is just to chill. Like, there's going to be like a feeling of like needing to, take action or pick up your sword. So for each of you it's going to be slightly different. Like there could be this feeling of needing to take direct action. Now this could be in a relationship situation, it could be with friends or family, it could be in a work situation, but there's going to be a feeling like for some reason, there wants to be some sort of a combative thing, or something that needs to happen. And it's based in kind of like a little bit of, impatience and kind of frustration. But what you're being asked is to really, go into that Pisces North Node. Go into, this is your time to shine. The North Node's in your sign now, and it's time to really kind of go into all things Piscean, right? Now we'll get into your timeline and I'll explain more about this. So as I said, you've got the Knight of Swords reversed, you've got the Star card, and you've got the Strength card reversed. So starting with the Knight of Swords, as I was saying, this goes along with this Ace of Swords reversed, because this is saying like, okay, like this is not a time for you the second half of January to like charge in on something, right? It's a time to like, yeah, it's, you're going to be busy, you're going to be doing things, but it's not a time to go into battle, to pick up the sword. It's like, and there's going to be this feeling is like, it's like impatience, right? But you're being told to really like hold back. Now, the reason for this is because this is a very Piscean thing. There are things of, one of the key words for the Pisces Virgo axis is, when it's in its highest form, is patience. Patience, grace, compassion. These kind of words. And the Star card here is saying that, this is backing up. This is like the first month of the 18 months of your kind of graduation period and your test period, with your North Node being in the collective North Node. And so it's the time, this is very karmic, right? So that it's a time to level up. Remember, a lot of times when we're dealing with things from our South Node, okay, they're impulses, right? Okay, and what does an impulse feel like? We feel impulsive to do something, right? And we have to, if we really feel like we need to do something, but holding back is difficult sometimes. But you're being asked to do that. What you're being asked to do, as I said, go into these more Piscean type themes. Now, the Strength card reversed is saying like, okay, it's time. What is one of the things to be Piscean? Okay, it's about to tread lightly with yourself, be kind to yourself, be kind to and compassionate and understanding with those around you, and different situations, because I feel there could be like trigger points, of this impatience. It could be like one of the things of like the dark sides of Virgo is one of the dark sides of Virgo and or the sixth house could be like highly critical. And when you like highly critical and then hyper focused, and when we're highly critical and hyper focused, we lose the big picture and of that Piscean theme. And it's like we could lose the fact of like, that compassionate edge, as I said, that we need to kind of have. And so this is just saying like, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. And as I said, in one word, it's like just chill. Now, as I said, it's easier said than done, because these impulses are going to say like, I need to do something, I need to take action, I need to like, this is ridiculous. But it's, I said, stand back, take some deep breaths, and like look at the big picture. And yeah, that's, as I said, it's easier said than done. Now, your two advice cards are interesting, because you've got the High Priestess reversed, and you've got the Empress. Now these are cards. These cards are representing you in your highest form, okay? Because you've got, the High Priestess, which definitely is a card of like the high level of like Pisces, and then you've got the Empress here. Now the Empress, a lot of times it's very earthy, right? Because you could see like themes of, even though this is like a Venus sigil here, it does have a very earthy and kind of a Virgo theme, and this is you in your highest sense here. And I don't think that the High Priestess part you already have down, but the Empress part is saying like, okay, this is the time to like, take some deep breaths, stand in your power, and when you are able to stand in your power and kind of stand back and see situations from that higher perspective, as opposed to kind of hyper focused, when you stand back, it's going to help you kind of go through this. But essentially, these two cards, along with the Star card, is this is your highest self, the highest version of a North Node in Pisces. I would say would be like these two cards together, and that's simply what you're working on. But remember, the impulse is going to be like a little bit of impatience, maybe critical and hyper focused. The cure for that is going to Pisces, big picture, compassion for yourself and for others. And as I said, the best thing you could do is just chill, okay, during these situations. If you find yourself, don't beat yourself up if you find yourself kind of having these impulses. But if you can kind of quell and push down those impulses, take some deep breaths, that's part of what all this is, okay? Because that is the real true test of our North Node, when we can stop ourselves midway through something and say, wait a minute, okay, because when it's easy if we do it and it comes naturally, but when we can actually stop these impulses going into that South Node, it's a very powerful thing. And so, yeah, very, very karmic. And what you'll find is when you do this, by the end of the month and going into February, you're going to be glad you did. Okay. So yeah, really, really powerful month. Okay. And this is the beginning of your 18-month journey through your North Node in the collective North Node. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link to my website in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings.